Well, the season is over, but despite the result, the Magpies arguably saved its best to last when it met Hawthorn at the MCG on Sunday. The Magpies were magnificent against the triple reigning premiers, only to fall short by 1 point. Welcome to the agenda. I'm Michael Christian, and with me is the Herald Sun's Jay Clark. Jay, so close yet so far. It's been 5 years now, since Collingwood has beaten Hawthorn. I thought it was going to happen yesterday.
It was a very close and enthralling game, a ripping game, Chris. So look, round 23 is fraught with danger. We saw Melbourne get belted by 111 points, Richmond 113 points. There was no real carrot for the Pies to play finals, obviously. It was all about pride and care and whether they could turn up and have a decent crack. Look, I know it was a gut-wrenching 1 point loss, Chriso, but I thought this was one of the best performances of Collingwood's season. Yeah, the win over Geelong was fantastic. Beating GWS away, outstanding. But to take it up to Collingwood and fight back from being 3 goals down late in that last quarter, it was a fantastic effort. And it's a credit to the whole club, the players, the coaches, for having a red-hot crack in this last game against one of the best sides we've ever seen, Chris.
I reckon with 10 minutes to go, Collingwood down by 3 goals. I reckon there would have been a lot of thoughts from Collingwood people, and the game gets 5, 6, 7 goal loss. But to kick the next 4 goals, to be in front with 2 minutes to go by a goal was remarkable, given everything in front of Hawthorn and what they had to play for. They were playing for a top 4 spot. To be able to achieve that was incredible.
Isn't this an endorsement, Chris? You've been around footy a long time. That the footy club is on the right track. You know, everyone really tested the footy club, I think, in the first half of the season. They were 4-8 and whatever. But now when you weigh this season up as a whole, are you happy that the Collingwood Football Club is on an upswing for next season?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, what we're going to do, we're going to have a very special agenda coming up at the end of the week with a review of the season, Jay. So we're going to look back over the course of the season, what worked, what didn't work.
The player moves.
And of course, and we're going to look forward to 2017, but that's coming up later on in the week. We're going to focus on what happened on Sunday at the MCG, and Hawthorn, to their credit, they find a way in key moments. They just were able to somehow find the footy. They had Stars, Rioli, and just find a way, don't they?
Yeah, Cyril Rioli's an absolute freak. That kick there was absolutely brilliant. Look, we'll show the key moments. They're coming up, but there were 2 pickpockets in particular later on in that last quarter with 5 minutes to go, or the last couple of minutes when it was absolutely
Wasn't a trip there, by the way?
That's your job. You're the MRP man. Brad Hill looks like he'd be going to Fremantle. Not a bad kick. But you're right. They've got the poise, class and composure. They've been on the big stage before. They've got finals campaign just around the corner. But I wonder whether the cracks, from a big picture perspective, Chris, they're just maybe being exposed in this Hawthorn side. Are they a little bit vulnerable?
Oh, gee, you just never write them off, do you? They just, as I say, they've won 5 games by under a goal this season, and they just are so confident and have such self-belief.
So this is the goal. This is the Fitzpatrick goal. You see Burgoyne rip the ball out of the contest there. Fitzy kicks a 1 in a million goal. Fair income. He's never done anything like that.
I can't believe it. Look at him.
He's stunned. But you go back to that stoppage, right? And it's Grundy taps it back to Pendlebury at the back of the square, right? Pendlebury tries to get the ball. Crisp is there. Burgoyne just dives in, rips it out of everyone's hand, and it's the handball to Fitzpatrick who runs. But what did you see in the back 50? So what should Collingwood, what did they do back there?
I reckon the spare, and they had a 7th guy back. That guy should have been, he should have been a lot deeper. Now, if you're kicking the ball 55, 60 metres, I reckon you can run probably 30 metres while the ball's in air. And I don't reckon the 7th defender was positioned back far enough to be able to intercept that. I think that would have been ideally the plan, but it just didn't quite work out that way.
So that tied scores, and then there's Hawthorn in the clearance, and it goes forward again, and there's a stoppage in the forward pocket. And it's Josh Smith with the football, and Luke Shields again grabs it out of his hands, a handball out to Hodge, who kicks the point. So there's, over summer, when you think about things that burn, there'll just be those 2 moments where there's the pickpockets, the Hawthorn muscle, ripping the ball out of Collingwood player's hand, and that was the difference.
Well, there were plenty of positives, Jay, there's no question, and in particular Collingwood's tackling. was of the highest calibre, and their desperation generally with some of the commitment, and this was fantastic stuff from John O'Marsh, just did enough to what would have been an easy goal, and the courage shown there by Greenwood.
Well, on one hand, it's okay to do the flashy stuff, but I thought this performance was full of rolling up the sleeves, the one percenters, the tough stuff, Chriso, the stuff that you were famous for during your glittering career. Nathan Brown, a really tough tackle on that. I just thought they rolled up their sleeves, the Pies. You know, they gave it everything. Here's Travis Cloak laying a big tackle on Sean Burgoyne. And so, what a tap by Canterbury. Unbelievable. Grundy, a great performance in the ruck. So they were just switched on. And I think it goes back to the coaching team. A big credit to Nathan Buckley and his guys for having Collingwood in a really desperate, hungry, sharp frame of mind for this last game of the season.
Yeah, indeed. And one contested ball by 19, plus 19, which is an amazing effort.
Yep.
Well, one of the stars, it was unbelievable, was Adam Treloar. Now, he had
again?
zero...
We're going to talk about him again?
Zero disposals in the first quarter. Zero.
Yep.
Ended up with 36, 10
Wow.
clearances, 4 inside 50s, 4 tackles. He was a star.
He's been magnificent. Again, Mark Robinson last week questioned whether the Adam Treloar trade was worth it from a Collingwood perspective. I'm absolutely certain he was. Now, I reckon earlier in the season his ball use was probably a little bit off, but I reckon as the season that's gone a lot better, Chris. So he's the road runner. His courage to run, particularly in that last quarter. So in the past month, over the past 4 games, he's averaging 11 disposals, 2.5 clearances, 2.5 tackles in the last quarter. Now, Matty Stokes is second in the competition, so he's the leading last quarter performer over the past month late in the season. So he's gutsy, he's getting better with his polish, and he's just going to be an absolute star for this football club for the next 10 years, Chriso. And remember, this is a guy coming off hardly a pre-season.
Yeah, incredible stuff. And this was the final goal that put the Pies in front by 6 points.
Did you get up out of your chair, Chriso?
Oh, yeah. Now, we might see that a little bit later in a bit more of a bit of a build-up, so stay tuned for that.
Chris, now, this guy, he's going to have a full pre-season next season, and that is just going to set him up for a huge year. I remember coming down to the footy club January, February, check out the Pies, how they're going December, just running laps. He's doing stride throughs, so he didn't have any summer whatsoever. A full pre-season look out, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's round 23, Jay, so we've got our first farewell.
Oh.
It's not a player.
No.
It's not a player. It's a
Still
man
a
that's given absolutely unbelievable service to the footy club. Been involved in a voluntary capacity for 41 years and dormant for the last 18 years. His name is Brian Evans. He was there even when I was there all those years and years ago, Jay, and what a star he is and was. He certainly was part of the furniture at Collingwood, and Collingwood media caught up with Brian Evans post-match.
Brian Evans is my name. I've been a doorman here for 18 years. Actually, I've been a club member for 52 years. I've actually been in a voluntary capacity for the club in different fields for 41 years. And today, the highlight of it was the finishing up, and enjoyed every minute of those 41 years. I had all my family here today, even down to the 4th generation of my great-grandsons, which is fantastic to have them here. And they were grateful for being accepted into the rooms for the day. It's great, really enjoyed it. I knew there was some sort of presentation, but I didn't realise there was going to be a jumper with number 1 on it and a name on it. And as Nathan just said to me, he said, that's probably the only thing I haven't done is played out on the ground in that period of time. So we got to know the players. Seen a lot of players go through in my time, probably, I estimated probably 700 or 800 through. I think I've seen about, I shouldn't say it, but I think I've seen about 10 coaches and 7 presidents. And so there's been a journey, but I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Now, lovely bloke, Brian, and has a big heart, but he can be a tough customer, Chris. So
he doesn't let you in, mate.
No, you try and get in the rooms a little bit early. No, son, not quite yet. So, absolutely lovely guy, Brian. Hats off to him.
One man he does let in early is Jordan Goey, and he was, again, very, very good for the Magpies against Hawthorn. 15 disposals, playing predominantly as a small forward, and had a quiet patch, particularly in the middle part of the season, and let's be honest, he was probably lucky to keep his spot. Injuries meant that he was probably given games that he probably didn't deserve, but full credit to him, he's fought back, Joe.
His past month has been very good, Chris. I think earlier in the season, as you allude to there, we're sort of wondering when he was going to take that really big step forward and announce himself. We know throughout the junior competition before he was drafted, he was a hard nut in the engine room, won a lot of the footy. You come to an AFL club, Chriso, and all of a sudden you've got to defend. You've got to run the other way. You've got to do a lot of the team things. And, you know, it's a bit of a reality check. And I reckon Jordan's probably had that this year, as you said, probably kept in the team there for a while. He may not have deserved it. But credit to him, his past month, we've seen the best of Geordie to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, looking forward to his summer, what do you think happens over the pre-season?
Well, he needs to build on his tank. He's a quality, it could be a quality midfielder, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. Collingwood media caught up with Jordan after the match.
Yeah, obviously it's been, to be honest, a bit up and down this year for me, but I was really happy to string a few games together towards the end of the year. But I still think I've got heaps of improvement, and so do a lot of the boys in the team, but I just look forward to growing and improving with the rest of them, and I think we can really push for finals next year. Yeah, I'd like to see myself in the midfield next year. I think I have the ability to do it, and it's just going to be a matter of getting my tank built up over the pre-season and really just put my best foot forward. We've got so many really great young guys in there at the moment, and it's just once I get my opportunity, I need to take it with both hands and see what I can do.
There you go, Jordan to Goey. It's the final time of the year, Jay. It's the final time to get up and about because it's that special time of the week on the agenda. It's our Monday Moments. Kick us off.
Well, we've spoken a lot about Travis Cloke this year, but I tell you what, yesterday I loved his game. He was desperate, Chriso. He was committed. He was engaged. I thought he was hungry.
He was up and about, Jay.
He was up and about, and I really liked him. Let's go to his last goal here in the last term. As you can see by the scoreboard, absolutely critical moment in the game. Oh, side bottom themselves a little bit of candy. Don't take. Yes, there goes a bounce. Open forward line. What does he do? He goes inboard. Varco. But the whole field open. Selfless handball. Grundy. He keeps going. Jesse White. Goal. The hand pass to kick the Cloak. Excuse me. And he's taken the mark. So 25 metres out, the whole football world watches him. The MCG goes quiet. Chriso Cloakey! And signs off. What you don't see here, little hug there for Jesse White, tugs the jumper, Chriso.
What does that mean, Jay?
So the Channel 7 cameras didn't get it there. I was watching. He tugged his jumper.
What does it mean, Jay?
Interpret this two different ways, Chriso. That's
here we go.
Saying that he's going to be.
What do you think it means?
I think it's a sign-off to the Collingwood. I reckon he's saying to the Collingwood people who have loved and supported this guy, been a great forward for the Collingwood Football Club, Premiership football. I reckon he's saying thanks. And, you know, I love this place. I love my teammates, and I reckon he'll be somewhere else next year. But that was, to me, was just a great moment to say goodbye to the Collingwood fans and thank you, and how much he's loved the place and been passionate for the place. So that's what I read into it. And well done, Clokey. I thought he carried himself well all year.
In fact, absolutely right, no question.
Now, what about yours?
My Monday moment was the goal that put the Magpies in front. Now, we're going to take this from the centre bounce. I just want everyone to watch the surge mentality with players running forward. Now, there's Adam Treloar. You can see him in the centre circle. Now, just look at the wave of Collingwood players just surging into the forward line. And there's a couple of them, Wills amongst them. There's De Goey surging forward. The ball spills back to Treloar. And just the composure, Jay. Look at this, left foot, if you don't mind. Wow. Bang, 6 points in front, 2 minutes to go. We won't talk about what happened after that, but let's just reflect on that goal. But the surge mentality, just to push forward aggressively, knowing that Hawthorn were on the ropes to get that goal in front. As I said, it didn't quite work out, but gee, outstanding stuff.
Great effort to run, and you know they talk about playing inside a shoebox, just where you've got no room, 2 steps, found the space, and on his left in 3 Hawthorn players right in his face. It was a great effort.
Now our season isn't quite dead, Jay, because the VFL, Collingwood have been barnstorming in recent weeks. Won't mention the loss to Footscray, but second. It is the qualifying final after finishing second. Icon Park in Carlton is coming up at 2 p.m. on Saturday. So we'd encourage everyone to get along. Kids 12 and under are free. So take the kids along and support the Magpies in the big game against Williamstown. So there's still some hope to cling to for season 2016, Jay.
And a big opportunity. Jared Witts is flying. I think his past couple of games in the ruck have been very good. So we'll have a look at some of the other young Collingwood players. And we'll also talk about guys like Witts, Cloak, Nathan Brown, a free agent, a bit of player movement, end of season special here on the agenda.
Absolutely. So that's coming up at the end of the week. The season review. This is our penultimate show.
Yes.
So I hope you can join us for our last show, the season review on the agenda. You've been outstanding today.
Bloody great, Chris. I love your work.